Alrighty then, welcome back to Universe X, and today, as you can kind of see on the screen, we got a special guest. We're going to have him introduce himself momentarily, but first, you already know, we got to go through the normal plugs. So, first, if you haven't already, check out the Facebook group. There's actually like 3 of them I want to plug. There's the actual community group for the game, just a bunch of cool people in there, a bunch of cool mods. We've actually got the official card game site. They're going to have all the spoilers, all the announcements, and then you're going to have my very much so neglected, probably should be touched more, Universe X group, where none of those things happen, but maybe they will happen soon if you join. Help it out. And those 3 Facebook groups, significantly less with the last one, will actually get you pretty much everything you need to know with the card game up and running. The other things I wanted to let you guys know, TCGMetalZ, we are partnered. You need to get out there and look at their metal leaders. They've got a great selection, like this manga-inspired Gohan. Definitely in love with this. This guy carried me all the way to a top 8 finish in Gen Con. Or, I mean, you've even got cool cards like, I mean, this card actually isn't for sale. This is like a custom Xeno Harambe. But I've actually got one that I'm going to give away now that I've broke the 1,000 sub mark. So, Xeno Harambe, one of you lucky people will win this at some point. Don't know when. It'll happen at some point. So, if you like the kind of content, think about hitting the subscribe button, like, comment in the comment section where comments tend to go. And this segment will be kind of a U7 round table with only 2 people, so I'm not really sure if it's like a round table, maybe like a stick table. I don't know. I don't really know how to go it. But we have Evan Glover here as our special guest for the U7 table talk. Why don't you introduce yourself? Past your name, which I accidentally already said.
Hey guys, I'm Evan Glover, or Evan U7, and I'm excited to be here. I've been wanting to do this with Chris for a while, so I'm like, yes, now we can finally talk about U7. I know a lot of people have been asking me about this too, about are you ever going to like collab or talk to Uni about U7 stuff? So it's happening, so I'm excited.
Yep, we're doing a little something for every group this week that I'm a part of. I mean, actually, I haven't done anything for the Broly group, but I've been posts in the Broly group from the OG days of Dark Broly. But, you know, we've done something for the Vegeta San Army, which technically could double as U7 because Starter Vegeta is U7, and now we're here for the U7 group with Evan U7, a mod there. We're just taking our little time walking around all little groups. This weekend was a really good weekend to be a fan of U7, I think.
Yes.
Especially day 1 of Gen Con. Actually, pretty much just day 1 of Gen Con. Because at number 1, after Swiss ended, is myself with U7 Gohan. But I believe, is it number 8? I'm trying to think. Legends actually topped with Invoker. In the same span. So, I mean, this weekend kind of had U7 all up in it. And I'm 100% here for that. Like, I actually just 100% there for it. How did you feel with all the U7 chilling in the top cut?
It made me so happy because it's been a while. Well, first of all, once that ban list got hit, the emergency ban list happened, it made me understand the freedom that U7 could come back. I remember 2 of my buddies in the U7 group, we have a little group chat we do through texting, and they were telling me like, yo, I think U7 is going to make an ultimate comeback. Like just the archetype U7. And I told the guys, I'm like, guys, with this happening, Invoker will be back on top. I'm pretty sure, and I even called it. I say Legends is going to play Invoker again. And I say this also may give Chris the U7 Gohan ability, like give him the skills to play this deck he's been talking about for so long. So I was just excited. And then the last time I actually seen like a U7 be in this realm was during the time when U7 Frieza was out. But of course, before the ban list, we had Invoker, Catastrophic Flow. But to see 2 different versions of U7 come out, I thought that was exciting. I thought that was seeing you play that, but watching you top that and seeing you just do tremendously well with that was just like, man, U7 is out here just owning all the barriers and trials and tribulations.
See, it's kind of weird because I can look. Disclaimer for everybody sitting at home. I would buy Divine Presences while they're cheap. Red still has some staples that aren't cheap, like Piccolo. This guy's kind of a little bit expensive, but
right.
it's kind of weird because I'm gonna put it this way: if you can top with Gohan, be my guest. I'm not quite sure if that's gonna happen again anytime soon because the deck, I've always joked about it. The deck is it's a solid 1.5er. It's not a tier 1 deck, I don't think. It's a tier 1.5er. However, its blue matchup can get a little fierce. I don't want to say favorable, but I don't think blue matchups this weekend were ready for the two butt cheeks of the Gohan deck. And when I say the two butt cheeks, I mean they come together and they were just closing out games for blue all weekend. And what I mean by that is the Divine Presence card comes down, he's dual attack, he's 30k the turn he comes down, and he can't be removed by effects during my turn. So he gets under the Blue Unison's -1, he gets under Bojack the Evildoer, and he gets under Bojack on a Rampage, and he punches through all of them. But then, since blue is now in a space where all of its relevant swingers are 20k, I can just violent raise them and not take most of their attacks. So, left cheek, right cheek. Together, I'm clinched. Like, this is how I survived my blue matchups. And I played like 3 Soul Striker and 1 SS4, and that's a majority of the rounds that happened day 1. So, I'm just saying, if you go into a tournament with a Gohan deck and you face 5 Icarus Kid Gohans, you may have some drastically different results. Now, granted, I'm trying to work on that matchup because I don't like having any matchup I feel is unwinnable. But I'm not gonna lie, until we see some more cards or the format shifts, I think that this Gohan deck it's fun to play. It's got some gas. It's not top of the format. I'm top of the format. No, I'm kidding. I'm definitely not. But I had a good day.
Bring the crown. Bring the crown. This is your season. This is your season.
So, no, it's definitely cool. And I think Invoker itself is in a really interesting position because now that a lot of the early kill decks are gone, like I can tell you right now, freaking Violent Raise is such an MVP right now. You violent raise my deck, and I can't swing on you with Fighting Against Fate, Divine Presence, nor my Surprise Attack Son Gohan, nor my Secret Rare if it was already in the field somehow. So that floodgates a lot of stuff. You use Violent Raise against blue, you're missing swings from Bojack's, any of the Bojack's actually. You're missing swings from like if you call Unison, you're missing swings from that. There's a lot of things that Violent Raise blocks. If you're playing against Kid Icarus, you Violent Raise them. They're not swinging with any of the 3 Bojacks they could be playing. They're War Cries. They're literally not swinging with anything but the actual 10k vanilla and the leader for that turn. So, and Basil. Don't forget Basil. Don't get swept by Basil. But the point is, with Violent Raise being such an effective floodgate this format, Invoker can actually protect itself probably better than it has been in a long time. Easily surviving to your mid game. And now you're in a format where, can you use Catastrophic Blow more than once per turn? No. Could you probably use Catastrophic Blow 3 turns in a row and live to do it? I'm willing to bet money, yes. So I think that Invoker actually has an interesting place to step up in this because it can play its control game. Not a lot of stuff is going to interact with through barrier with Invoker Vegeta. And Violent Raise and blue cards will get you there. And Catastrophic Blow will probably finish it out. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing to stop Catastrophic Blow? Like,
nothing. nothing at all.
I mean, so I kind of like it. It's kind of weird because a lot of people, once Catastrophic Blow got hit, a lot of people are kind of going towards more of a punchy build with the Dash Pack Goku. But I'm thinking that I want to know how you feel about it because I feel like Invoker has everything it needs to be a solid control deck with a burn win con and not even really care about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many different routes. I mean, there are people I know who will message me and tell me, hey, look, I don't have Apex or Awaken Power. How would you build this deck? Or do I need Apex? And I tell people, well, Joey Palladino he was running the Black Smoke Dragon, I believe, in his Invoker deck. But as long as you're able to control the board, like for straight 5 turns, control the board, you would have game and you would do really well. Like I said, you have to deal with, of course, aggro. A lot of decks now, like my friends here in Houston, when they play me, when they play my Invoker day, they go, "Oh man, you playing Invoker? I have to aggro, I have to aggro you." So I have to constantly keep my the D magics in hand. I run the Roshi negate. But also my deal's a little bit different, not because I run Awaken, but I still have the core group of cards I need to control the board. And I had made my deck in a way to where I don't need to run Awaken or play Awaken on that turn 5. I could go into the Blue Unison. I can go into the Limit Surpass when you Instinct Surpass when you be standing. There's
Mm-hmm.
different routes. I'm just knowing your matchup. But with the Sensu Beans, like the Sleepy Boy techniques, the Royal Condemnation, the Empress Death Beam, and even the fact that I could run the Boot Unison in this mid range meta is probably one of the best things I ever did in this meta because I'm able to tap 4, swing at your unison, or just have a defense on the field, and that Boot Unison becomes a threat, which actually gives me more time to go into the 6 drop into my SCR. Now, of course, based on the matchups I go, if I go against a blue, like an actual blue deck like Soul Striker or the SS4 Vegeta, I'm not gonna play Awaken. I'm gonna focus on my blue Unison and my leader and focus on going into game with those guys. I mean, you just have different varieties of like ways. There's so many different ways to do well. Now, of course, you do the Legends route or the Met Subway route with the Tap 5 going to Apex. Yeah, you do well. But just the fact that we're able to be more creative in this format is with Invoker. I think that's what makes it more fun. And I know you saw the post earlier. I put the 1 drop Gohans in. Those 1 drop Gohans is to help me search out my rival seekers, my Vegetas, because what happened is a lot of players that play red are playing Brawley Crown Retribution. So they're
Yeah.
looking into my hand and they're sending my Vegetas to the drop. So, I'm over here tweaking up. I tweak the deck up almost every day. So I was like, this is a use. So U7 Gohan lets me add cards to hand top 5. I search on my deck faster. I get to see my pieces faster. So I like it. I like the range that it brings to the meta. And I love seeing different deck lists. I mean, some people don't even run Apex Awaken. They're running the Pier 4, 6 drop energy explosions,
Mm-hmm.
the playset of the Instinct Surpass, the one you restand, the dash back one. So I mean, there are people making
Oh
Pure
no.
Ray Blue. Yeah, they do the coolers in, and they just go for pressure, and they do pressure first, and then they go try to burn you for 2 life, and then wait the next turn to negate your attacks. So it's creative, man. It's
I dig it.
very creative. That's a lot of rambling, but I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. There was a lot in there. A lot in there. I mean, like Invoker has multiple ways it can win, a lot of ways it can like defend
Yeah,
itself, and so I mean this format really does open up a lot of slower things to go into just how the game works. But I mean, like at the same time, I think that's good. That's good. Now I will say that right now the way the format's going, oof, because like Icarus is. Have you played against Icarus, Blue Yellow Icarus?
I I play Blue Yellow Icarus. I have a buddy of mine who played. I did play against the build that Crossroad played against. It does a lot of pressure. And I remember playing that before the emergency ban list. I played it back in the summer. My rival Raul Reyes, he actually played that build, and of course I was able to go for burn at the time, so it was a good getaway. But now, with where it's at now, I haven't played the updated one with this current meta, but I hear a lot of crazy things about it. But I was playing. One of my buddies also played Mecha Frieza before the ban list. He played the Mecha Frieza leader with the Icarus engine in the deck. So that was pretty cool. But no, I saw some play and I was like, oh, this is this is pretty brutal. You need to think, you need to keep all your cards in your hand by turn 4.
I mean, it's because I mean the deck could, if it wants to, it can tilt on you. But the main thing that's like crazy about it is, it's first off, just off its leader effect, it's gonna pot of greed you every turn. You
Right.
activate the leader effect, you bring out the 1-drop dragon, you draw a card. You swing with the leader, you combo with the 1-drop dragon, you draw a card. So that's just a +2 every single turn. But on
And their
top of
Bojack
that,
agent.
oh
That
yeah,
Bojack is crazy. That
Bojack
Bojack agent.
Aegis. Aegis
That
will draw
card
you a
there.
card. Like freaking, there's so many things in the deck that just like plus you ones. Zamasus will draw you a card and you use them. So the deck just keeps floating. You constantly have like I've seen that deck coast at 18, 20 cards in hand. You play 4 cards and then you still have 18 cards in hand. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, what?
Yeah.
And so that's going to be the deck to beat. I currently kind of wonder, like, now Invoker is a little different because the deck still has to awaken, and the deck awakens Hero, awakens, well, I said Hero. Icarus awakens at 4 life. So essentially, as an Invoker player, if you can survive to the point of getting your 6-drop down, you only have to resolve Cat Below twice to win.
Yeah.
You don't even have to attack them. You just have to live and commit to Cat Below twice.
That's basically it. Yeah, I mean, and also you have to keep in mind too, like they're gonna want to play their unisons and stuff too. So I try to take full advantage of them hitting me. And I try not to awaken until I'm on turn 4 or turn 5. Now turn 5 is the big catch when you go into Rival Seeker. But if you're able to negate their attacks, control the board, Royal Condemnation, the big guys, you'll be fine. Final Flash is still a card, but personally for me, I don't see Final Flash used as often like I used to. A lot of people do like the one of Final Flash, but with that deck, well, with a deck like that, you want to run Tyranny Cost. Tyranny Cost say that your opponent have to shuffle cards back into their deck until they have 11 cards in hand. So, which is actually a card I thought about putting into my Invoker deck because I know Icarus is going to become popular pretty soon. Uh, More popular right now. Right now, it's the Bardock Sparkle deck. But but I agree. I agree. I mean, you have to be able to if you're able to negate the board. I mean, they're going to aggro you. Just negate the board and you'll be fine. Well, I can say Royal Condemnations, Royal Decree, not Royal Decree, Violent Rays,
Ah, Yu-Gi-Oh!
um,
I see.
yeah, CB Boy techniques, and then they don't want to tap out. They try to pressure you too as well. So being able to play Tyranny Costs to lower down their hand, and I've done that a few times too with my buddy. When I play Tyranny Costs, he had to shuffle 7 cards back into his deck, which he had to regain his hand again. But by the time it was my turn 5, I just burned him for a catastrophic blow, and he was actually at 2 life. And this is well, of course, this was pre banless, pre errata, whatever. But no, with that deck there, you just have to be able to take advantage of the fact that you want to swing at the unisons. From what I've seen in plays, from gameplay and stuff, is that you want to swing at the unisons or use your leader's ability off of the unison and off of the leader when they're attacking. You pitch the multicolor, you draw a card, and they're going want to take life of their own. And based on the matchup, they're going to most likely build up their board to where they could be more defensive because, like I say, no one wants to get hit by Victory Strike, regardless if it's an Awakened Power or anything. So
Yeah, it's
it's
like
it's really tough.
it's like I can tell you the way the deck has evolved. So it's like Final Flash is probably going to be about a 3 of in each deck, just because it is like a really good way to get rid of certain cards and break through states of game that they wouldn't normally be able to. I don't really like. They do run Trunks Unison because Trunks Unison offers some really good destruction in a deck that wouldn't normally have it.
Oh yeah.
But for the most
Dual
part, though,
attack one, right?
huh? The dual attack one, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
But they don't really play unisons unless they need to. So a lot of the times, if you're going to be swinging for a leader effect, you're going to be helping them awaken. So it's like it's a little bit shiftier, but I still think your game plan kind of stays the same. Like you really just play a defensive game because normally Icarus can wait and play defensively on you. They don't have to play anything on their turn. They can just wait for you to push into them, and they're just like, combo out of this. Like, if they're running the full Bojack package, they can combo out of your swing. Pay a yellow, activate the Resonant Bojack that taps one of your cards and then makes you mill one. And he's a blocker. He's a 20k blocker. So that's essentially like good for 3 attacks. He combo out of one, tapped another one of your attackers, and then put a 20k blocker on board. Like, they'll do that. they'll Warcry you, they'll do all these things, and then, Warcry comes in, draws a card, and then when everything's said and done, they have 3 20Ks on the board and have stopped all your attacks. And on their turn, all they have to do is turn that board sideways, pass all their energy up. You swing, rinse, lather, repeat. So, I mean, I feel like for Invoker, we might see, like, do people still play all in this together, or we're in this together? Because if you...
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that card's right back to being, like, primo.
Oh, my God. That too. I always debate with one or two. There are times where I see the one up, and there are times where I don't see it. And if it's out in my life, but there are times where I'm able to draw into it, or I use the activate battle to pitch a multicolor card to draw it. But when I see that card based on certain matchups, I am so happy. I am so happy.
Maybe a main inside.
But now, like I'm saying, it's such a. This deck is so. It is constantly challenging me every set, every meta that changes. With the ban list happening and with the emergency ban list, and I gotta give props to ban for that, because the emergency ban list, that really gave me like a breather to be able to stretch out my plays. But I'm thinking about moving forward, running 2 of those. That card is just too good. You destroy a whole field. You write Geki a whole board in seconds, and I don't care about the whole barrier. I just Emperor Death beam your card that has barrier on.
I was about to say, I was like, we're in this together, and then just Emperor's Death Beam the Aegis Bojack, and that's the entire field pretty much.
That's the best feeling. And then even on your turn, also, if you want to, a lot of people try to pressure Invoker as soon as possible. And I tell everybody, I say, listen, well, everybody that plays Invoker, that message me. If you're able to, or do Discord, if you're able to survive to turn 4, you play the Vegeta and you awaken. And you don't have to swing with your leader, but if you're able to awaken on turn 4 with a 3-drop Vegeta, then you just Emperor Death Beam and you rear this together, and then you keep your D Magics in hand, or you keep your Beerus in hand, the super combo ones. You keep them in hand, and then when they hit you, you untap and you keep your Sensu Beams ready. I mean, if you really just have to prepare for turn 4. I learned that over the past. It's so crazy how Invoker came out last year. The set 9 came out last year, but I learned that over these sets that you want to see certain cards based on certain turns. There's certain cards you want to keep in hand based on certain matches. It used to be where how it used to be like an SCR finisher. Like, okay, let me get my SCR out and finish. Now you're at a point where you could get finished with an Overwhelm card or a Unison card or a leader. So you have to just be prepared on what you play, and then you have to just know your deck. Something that Legends taught me at PPG when he came to Houston was, when you activate TOP, look at the first card first, then look at the second one. Yep. I used to look at all 3 of them. I used to look at all 3 for all these sets. Until then, I just learned, look at the first one, look at the second one, and then leave it. Don't even look at the third one. And that helps a lot too. Like, you really have to learn how to. I gotten better with the deck and using it, but I'm always learning something new about that deck. That's why I love that deck. It's so unique. It's so special. Yeah. So I think that's the joy of playing it. And then, you look at all these other decks that come out, like the Unison Warriors set 6 with the new Brawley support. That's coming out. The new color reveals, the reprints and stuff. I have to constantly ask myself, how can I change the ratios of this deck? Do I go 10 to 11? Do I go 8 to 12? Do I run how many multicolors I need to warp? Do I want to run, 2 energy explosions, 3? I mean, you have to play test a lot like that. And then you will start to feel comfortable with it based on your matchups and stuff. And you get used to the plays that you see at locals. You go to your daily locals, you start to understand people's play style and stuff. And a lot of people want to go in with their strongest bet. So you try to make sure Invoker is ready. But of course, you want to see your TOPs. If you don't see your TOPs, that hurts a lot. That puts a downfall on my game. I don't see that card.
No, I mean, I definitely understand you. It's every deck kind of has this crux. Like, you're not seeing TOPs, like me not seeing my 1-drop Gohan. Sometimes it's just it's pain. And you're looking at other stuff like your fundamentals. Like when you're talking about picking up stuff for TOP, it's just like how in Dark Broly with your leader skill on the front side, you don't have to pick up the top 5. You can pick it up one at a time, and it's actually the better thing for you to do, because if you pick up all 5 and you see 2 super combos, 3 30Ks and 2 super combos. You just have to bottom deck 2 super combos after putting those 3 30Ks. But if you pick up a 30K, pick up a 30K, pick up a 30K, don't even look at the next 2. You don't know what the next 2 are, but they could be cards that you would have bottom decked that you actually want to draw into. So you just gotta read your cards, know how the effects work, and know how to best make them work for you as efficiently as possible. And you do that enough, and your decks will just perform well for you. It's like lots of people who haven't played in set 1 may not realize that your leader skills on their front and back are independent. And sometimes when they're 2 different effects, it's really easy to know. But when they're the same effect, sometimes people forget that. Lots of effects are tied to swinging. So something like with Gohan, something that like makes my favorite part of Awakening is when you have the 1-drop Gohan on board, and he's going to allow you to draw an extra time when you have the vanilla. If you so if you actually have your dude on the front side and you go sideways with him, you combo the vanilla. The vanilla is going to have you draw once for your Gohan effect, once for your 1-drop effect. Then you awaken, you draw 1, you untap 1, you take your life down to 5. He now has a new iteration of that effect. So when you combo with your challenger, you're drawing 1 from the challenger and then 1 because you drew a U7. If you do this on turn 2, when you've taken 1 life, you are drawing 2 cards for the vanilla, so that's a +1. You're drawing 2 cards from life going down, you're drawing 1 card from your awakening, and then you play the challenger, but you draw 2 cards. That's a swing of 6 cards just because you sequenced your stuff right and used all of your effects on cue. So just knowing how your effects lay out the way they need to lay out is always going to put you ahead in those interactions and your games. So it's
let me ask you this. Were you able to see your 1-drop Gohans in every round?
Heck no.
In like every oh my gosh.
No.
Okay.
No, but that's part of it. I mean, it's a 4 of like I won't be able to open up with it every game. Sometimes it's a little rough, but at the end of the day, like even the Gohan just allows you to go plus. The deck is going to allow you to cycle regardless. Like if I go vanilla challenger, I'm still pitching 2 cards to see 2 cards. But it's just that when the Gohan's on the board, I'm pitching 2 cards to see 3 cards. So you still go through your deck fast. Gohan just makes it no longer break even. So, but it does suck. When you don't open your 1-drop, you feel worse. You feel bad at the game.
Yeah, I can see why we go back to katana sleeves at times. So I do the over sleeves, and I have like the broccoli sleeves when I use the Goku Kanji ones. Because I actually went back to U7 Gohan tonight. I took U7 Vegeta apart. Frank Castle, don't be mad at me. But I miss the U7. I love the draw power. I love that. I always been a fan of that draw power. It's like a, what's so funny? It reminds me of U7 Frieza with the pitch 1 U7, you draw 2. And then it reminds me of Invoker in a way, which is pretty weird. Which is like you gain like a +5K with the Spirit Boost when you get. I'm sorry, I think it's +6 when you Spirit Boost and you give a vanilla card the +6 Spirit Boost. It reminds me of that. Like, it's really weird though. Like the way like it has U7 Frieza references and Invoker references from the deck. I could be wrong, but I think that's just me. Like if you run like the SCR Goku and Frieza, SCR, you burn a life to your opponent, and then like I said, you do Spirit Boost, we do the +6 to a vanilla card, whereas like Invoker, you give it the leader card +5, you give a vanilla card +6, and I just think that's pretty cool how it has that little sequency to it. Like it's really funny. It's really funny. Like it's funny how U7 comes back in a different way every set, But I think that in this set now, U7 Gohan is outside of Invoker being like my A1. U7 Gohan and U7 Vegeta deck, they're such great decks to play, and I'm happy that U7 is not slept on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm so glad they didn't put U7 in like the man, I didn't put U7 in the back burner, because that's a popular art. So they always reinventing it in different ways, and I just think that's what makes the game so special. But seeing you seeing you bring U7 Gohan to life was like I was so happy. Like I mean, people kept saying U7 Gohan is a bad leader, it's a bad card, and U7 Vegeta, which U7 Vegeta is really good. It's
He is
tank,
very
but
good.
what it can do. But to see you bring U7 Gohan back and just, I mean, that's your best friend. So you
I just
stuck
wanted to
with
prove
it.
he was playable, yeah.
But you did it though, and now people are like, now even me was like, wait, what? I thought you said Vegeta was, but you paved the way for Gohan fans, and I think that's really cool. Like you definitely left a message for players who've been trying to make U7 Gohan work. So just keep it up.
I will try. I will try. I mean, push come to shove, though, can't be paying to fly out to California to be playing Jank. So we're gonna be testing. The whole
Oh,
play group gonna be testing. If I can get away with playing Gohan, actually, it's not even get away. If Gohan can give me some favorable matchups, if I still feel like he's good against Blue and I can work on my Icarus matchup, I'll still play him. But if not, I may have to put him on the shelf. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think somebody's gonna be hard pressed to ever get a first seed finish with Gohan again. So I might just put him in a box, never play him again. I don't think anybody's taking that accomplishment away from
yeah,
me. Like,
yeah,
because this
you.
deck ain't doing it again. It had one. Its tier 1.5 self had one shot. And I spent it.
Well, you did it, and you know what? I think that with the right timing, I mean, come on, man, you got first out. Like you made this happen. I think now, like your fans, honestly, I think your fans, the people that are watching you, I think that you're going to lead that curiosity. Let's just say you did put the deck up. Let's just say you
Mhm.
did put the deck up for a while, right? And you play other stuff. There's going to be those fans who watch you do this, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking or wondering, hey, are you ever going to play U7 Gohan? Or like with the new stuff that's coming out with the sets with the Unison Warrior
Set
part, this one
16.
part.
Set 16. They
Yeah,
should have some new Invoker. Well, not new Invoker, but new U7 cards at the minimum.
yeah, and then we got the January too. We have the I think we have like the new set that comes up, the God Rares and stuff like that. They had like the 6 drop Goku Energy Explosion Goku on it, so I'm excited. But I think that your fans gonna be wondering if you're gonna bring it back or you're gonna make that sneaky comeback. Now you can though, which would be pretty cool. Like, it would throw people off guard that you made a comeback with that U7 Gohan deck with the new U7 tech, and only you know how the deck works.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's possible, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's possible too. As long as Gohan's playable, I'm going
Yeah.
to. If Gohan can throw hands, I'm gonna actually try to throw hands with Gohan. That's just as simple as that's gonna be. But I mean, I got some hope. We can always get some U7 cards. I'm hoping that they put the deck in red. It would be kind of weird if 2 sets later they put the deck back in red, but I would love actual support to Invoker and this U7 deck. But knowing
Yeah.
Bandai, we're about to see some yellow U7 cards for no reason next set, and it's gonna be so
I
sad.
I told Kyle Senpai, I was like, hey man, look, would you mind making an invoker? You're like, come on, man, you're already making the game broken. And then
Like,
people, even the fact that then I goes, come on, that's making the game broken already. I'm like, oh, I think we need one. I think we
I
need one.
personally, look. I still need Gohan and Piccolo firing off a special beam cannon Kamehameha like in the anime. I thought for sure we
That
were
would
gonna
be
get
a
that card.
you know what? I was going to message you a few months ago when we saw that we was getting some U7 stuff. You remember in the trailer it showed Piccolo in and you see Gohan like powering up. I thought I was like a unison. I should have texted you like, yo, I think this might be a unison, but I thought it was. I thought it would be like a unison where it's Piccolo shooting his special beam and going to the
I
Kamehameha. And
said,
I'm thinking like in my mind, oh my god, this may be like a red blue card or a raid unison where you're probably going to negate, draw, or you're going to do something.
I was
Which
hoping.
I was hoping too. I thought it would be one of those cards where it's like activate main +0, draw a card or remove a marker. And me, I was telling my buddy this. It's probably I could have sworn I thought it was going to be a unison, and probably one of those cards where you remove them, you remove markers, you bring back skill assists from the drop or something. But Gohan ended up being that leader. But
They
no,
said.
man, we're definitely gonna get some new stuff.
I hope so.
I think I just hope this mid range meta stays like Chris. I tell you this, I love this meta so much. Like I love the mid range so much. I'm seeing so many different decks get played, and on Discord, I mean, you get people all over the world watching me. So see all these different decks get played, turn 4, turn 5. It reminds me of set one and set two format. To be
See,
honest,
I do. I loved set one and set two formats. Most certainly set two. My main thing though is that I feel like this format currently has some weird, not weird, but it definitely has some choke points that I think need to get kind of fanned out. Like Kid Icarus is a massive wall right now, and I think they need to sort that out before we can move forward and say it's completely solid format. But I am kind of mad going back to the set because they like announced the bond between master and student. You know what master we got? We got this. This is the only Piccolo card they printed for the archetype. I said what?
yeah. I was shocked. I was shocked. I swear I thought that U7 because they did the reveals for it. I thought that we were going to get a unison, which it could be next set. But I could have seen them. And you know what's so funny? I thought that they were going to do something where they do like a manga reference. Like in the manga, Gohan doesn't wear his dad's outfit. He wears the. Well, I'm sorry. In the manga, he wears the purple gi.
Yeah, like that's what this is
And I
actually
was
based
like,
off of.
yeah. I saw that. I noticed that. Yeah. Hey man, that manga is differently.
It's
But
actually
yeah,
got manga panels in the background. That's what Chris Anderson from TCGMetalZ was going for. It's a little hard to see here, but yeah, the fight between him and Kefla is what's in the background of that card.
I would love for them to make a card like
Oh
that.
wow,
Like
it just
Kefla
focused.
and Gohan. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can
No,
get
yeah, I've seen it. It looks good. Oh, yeah. I see the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get it to, but yeah, it is. It's pretty out there. It's pretty out there.
I hope that like I say, the Bandai is watching and that they're listening now. And like I say, man, I love this game. I love this community. God is so good. Like we have a game where we want it all. You know what I mean? But of course, there's limitations to the game. But I love how their Bandai's taking time to listen to us. I love how you and I are able to play decks that we enjoy, and we're not obligated to make meta. Like we want it to win. We want it to be meta, but we're able to really just engage on the decks that we want to play and stuff. But I love how Bandai listens. Like they're starting to listen to what the fans want. I just think that we do need some more support. With the new reveals that's been coming out and stuff, I'm like, okay, well, we need some. Invoke is getting older, but I think that with U7 Gohan and Invoker, I think that a few extra new cards to support the deck. Um, it's like the anniversary cards. They gave Goku Junior Goku's lineage a little bit of support. They gave Bardock a little bit of support. So this is a little bit more U7 support with it. It's a popular archetype, and people love it. So I'm excited to see what would happen. But with the Icarus stuff, oh well, I'll tell you this too, Chris. Not to get off topic, but the balance is coming up again after
Yep.
the emergency one, and they even said that we're going to be adding more. So it got me thinking, like, okay, this ban list is pretty good right now. They fixed it, but I'm
Emergency
thinking
ban, yeah.
like, but my curiosity is like, what are they going to hit next? I know they won't touch Invoker, and I know they won't touch U7 Gohan, but it got me thinking like, what are they going to target next? Like I'm looking at cards on here, like what can they hit?
Well,
I can see them hitting the Blue Unison, but I don't think they will. Like I can see it being like limited to one like unison per deck or something. But it's still a four cards. It's still a four cost energy card. So I'm just trying to figure out like what they're gonna hit next because this meta is really good.
so my thing is they definitely are giving time between the last. They said that they were going to do it before set 15, but after set 14. So it's probably going to be close to when set 15 releases. I think they're just going to be monitoring the tournaments. Like they already pay attention to deck list at the top. They already pay attention to what's going on. So honestly, like day 2 of Gen Con, 4 of the top 8 were Icarus, Kid Icarus, and Gohan. So it's like if that happens in Richmond, the regional coming up next month, if that happens in like some online regional, if Kid Icarus is taking over top 8 slots, you can bet Blue Yellow will be the focus of the next ban list. They're good. They're paying attention. They're paying attention, and they're going to focus in on what they think are problematic. But I will say, it is. I think we could always do a part 2. But I've liked a lot of the stuff that's been said here. We've been going for a solid like 30, 40 minutes.
You know what? You're right. I didn't. I'm over here like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? But yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We could definitely do a part 2 soon. It's been really fun. I'm glad that we were able to get part 1 out the way. So
of course. And in the comments, just let us know what you would like us to talk about when it comes to U7 in the game for the next part. Just let us know. We'll put it together when we can. But would you like to put any closing statements on this, good sir?
Continue to like, comment, and subscribe to UniX channel. If you're not doing it, make sure you click the subscribe button. Ask questions like he says in all his videos. He has a Discord group. Message him on Facebook. He's a nice guy. You can always message us about U7 stuff. And shout out to Team Rays, my team here in Houston, and Galaxy Gaming store. Also, be on the lookout for more positive posts on the Facebook page.
Hey, positivity gets a lot of things done, yo. It really does.
It does. But thank you so much, man.
No problem. And like I said, like we get enough questions in here so we can make some topics, and we will put up another part 2. And also, anytime Universe 7 starts going up on the elevator, we can reintroduce this segment. So set 16.
Like, you're Gohan, bro. Like you're in the U7 world now. Like it's like you're in it. So it's exciting. Congratulations again.
No problem at all. Thank you. And it feels really good to get somewhere with the pet deck, you know? It really does.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to Universe X, and I will see you the next time you decide to join us.